Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera kepada semua pelajar elektrik sirkuit 2 BEV 10403. Today kita akan bincang berkenaan dengan chapter 5, chapter 5 AC power analysis. So this is the main content of this chapter. Okay, continuous and average power. Okay, next effective or RMS value. Okay, apparent power and power factor, complex power, conservation of AC power, and then the last one adalah power factor correction. So in this video, we will discuss about instantaneous and average power, effective or RMS value, and apparent power and power factor. Okay, so first of all, so this is our learning outcome. Okay, from this chapter. So at the end of this chapter, you should be able to understand number one, okay, complex power, apparent power, and power factor. Number two, principle of conservation of complex power. And then the last one, power factor and power factor correction. So in this video, at the end of this you should be able to understand the number one, complex power, apparent power, and power factor. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss about instantaneous and average power. What is instantaneous and average power? Okay, so we try to recall back our knowledge in DC circuit analysis. Okay, so what is power in DC circuit? Okay, do you still remember what is power? What is the definition of power? Okay, basically power is defined as the rate at which energy is transformed. Okay, so in brief, we can say that power basically is rate of energy. Okay, so in DC circuit, we can measure power by using wattmeter. We can measure power by using wattmeter. Okay, let's say you try to measure power absorbed by the load, and then you can connect wattmeter and then measure power. Okay, absorbed by the load. Or you can measure power by using ammeter and wattmeter, which means you need to connect your ammeter in series with the load and voltmeter in parallel with your load, so you can measure power, so that you can measure voltage and current. From the voltage and current, you can determine power, because you know that power equal to V times I. Okay, or equal V from the voltmeter reading, for example, from the voltmeter reading, and current from the ammeter reading. Okay, or you can measure current, you can measure power equal to V square over R or equal to I square R. Okay, so the next, how to measure power in AC circuit. Okay, first of all, you need to understand the concept of instantaneous power. Okay, we write small pt. Okay, small pt. We call it instantaneous power. So in AC circuit, power at any instant, we call it instantaneous power, P. Okay, is given by Pt equal to V times I, Vt times It. Okay, Vt equal to voltage, instantaneous voltage, and It equal to instantaneous current. Okay, so units actually is watt. Okay, power in watt. Okay. Okay, let's say you have a voltage waveform. This is, let's say, this is a voltage waveform, and then this is a current waveform. So how to determine instantaneous power? Let's say you want to determine power at t equal to 5.5 second. Okay, this is a 5.5 second. Okay, so how to determine instantaneous power? So you can determine voltage at t equal to 5.5. For example, this is a voltage, and this is the current at t equal to 5.5 second. So from that, you can determine power, because power equal to Vt times It, then you can get value of instantaneous power. That's the simple method how to determine instantaneous power. Okay, so of course, instantaneous power basically is very closely as current and voltage go through a cyclic variation. Okay, because voltage and current in waveform, okay, always move from 0, 1 to t second, for example. So instantaneous power basically is interested only in transient study, transient phenomena. Okay, study. Okay, so usually we are concerned about average value of power. So the question is how to determine average value of power from the instantaneous power. Okay, let's say you have a V and I. So you have a V and I. In order to determine average value of power, you have to integrate V and I with respect to dt and times by 1 over t. Okay, you need to integrate. Okay, 1 over t integrate v times I dt from 0 to t. So you can get average value of power. Okay, average value of power. You integrate. Okay. Let's look at to this analysis, how to determine instantaneous power and average power. Let's say we have a source connected to the passive network. Of course, we have a current and voltage. Let's say our voltage and current equal to this equation. Let's say Vm cos omega t plus theta v and it equal to I omega t theta I. So how to determine instantaneous power? P equal to V times I. Okay, Vt times It. So in this case, Vt equal to this one, Vt times It. Okay, so you can get instantaneous power. Okay, so in order to determine the average power, you can solve this equation. Okay, by applying trigonometry identity. This is the trigo identity. So you can get Pt equal to, you can solve this one, you can get this equation. This is your average power. Okay, average power. T equal to 1 over Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I plus 1 over 2 Vm Im cos 2 omega t plus theta v plus theta I. So this is the waveform of your instantaneous power of your PT. Okay, this is the waveform of your PT. Okay, this is the average value. Basically, this is the average value. So how to determine instantaneous power? Let's say you want to determine at t equal to this point, and then replace your equation equal to Pt equal to this time, any instant, and then you can solve this equation. Okay, this is the instantaneous power Pt. So how about the average power? Okay, how about the average power? Okay, average power in what is average of instantaneous power? Okay, which is the average of instantaneous power over one period. Average power means average of this instantaneous power. This is your this is the waveform of Pt. So we need to determine the average value of this waveform. Okay, average value of this waveform. How to determine average value of this waveform? You need to integrate. You need to find the area. Okay, you need to integrate. Okay, 1 over t, and then you integrate Pt with respect to t for one period. Okay, period mean from 0 until t period. Okay, once you integrate this Pt, you have a Pt, we have a Pt, we integrate this equation by using and then you integrate this equation, integrate this part and this part. Okay, you can solve this mathematical equation, and then you will got this one. You will get this one. Kamu akan dapat yang ni kan. Okay, so integrate cos. Okay, this is a sine wave because we have omega. So when you integrate this one equal to 0. So your average power equal to this part. Okay, if you integrate dt, you can get a constant. Okay, so your P equal to 1 over Vm Im cos theta V minus theta I. This is your average power. This is your average power. Okay, because this one, when you integrate cos omega t equal to 0. Okay, so your average power equal to 1 over 2 Vm Im cos the different angle between V and I. Okay, this is the important formula that you have to understand and remember. Okay. Okay, look at to the example. Okay, you have to remember this formula. Okay, look at to the example. Okay, let's say example number 1. Okay, given VT is given, voltage supply is given, and current is given. Okay, find the instantaneous power and the average power absorbed by the passive linear network. Okay, first, determine the instantaneous power. Okay, instantaneous power, how to determine instantaneous power? P equal to Vt times It. Okay, Vt, P equal to V times I. Okay, you just solve this equation. P times I by using a trigonometry identity, you can get P, Pt. This is your Pt, instantaneous power, unit watt. Okay, number 2, determine the average power. How to determine average power? You need to remember the formula. Average power equal to 1 over 2 Vm Im cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, you have a 1 over 2, you have a magnitude of V, magnitude of current, cos the different angle between voltage and current. Okay, and by solving this equation, you can get the average power. Clear? Okay, this is the way how to determine instantaneous power and average power from current and voltage. Okay. Okay, next we look at to the 5.2 to the 5.2 effective or RMS value. Effective or RMS value. We call it root mean square value equal to effective value. Okay. What is the purpose of RMS or effective value? Okay. Okay, first look at to this one. Okay, to measure the effective of a voltage or current source is delivering power to a resistive load. The effective value of a periodic current is the DC current that delivers the same average power to a resistance as the periodic current. Okay, which is equal to the DC current deliver the same average power, okay, to a resistance as a periodic current or AC current. Okay, let's say you have a circuit. Okay, this one voltage and arc. Okay, and then you have a current. Okay, how to determine RMS value, okay, or effective value of voltage and current. Okay, to find the effective current, let's say we call it IEFF, that transfer the same power to R as in sinusoid I. Okay, so how to determine? Okay, look at to the power. Okay, in order to transfer the same power, first we need to define the power. Power equal to 1 over T. We integrate I square R. Okay, we have a current. Okay, we have current. How to determine power? I square times R. So when you solve this equation, you will get R over T integrate 0 to T I square with respect to dt. Okay, so this one equal to I square R. I effective square R. So solving this equation, okay, this one this equation equal to this equation. Okay, so I effective equal to, how to determine I effective? I effective equal to, we integrate this one. Square root 1 over t. Okay, by solving this equation, you can get, okay, you can get I effective equal to square root 1 over t, integrate 0 to t I square dt. Okay, square dt. Okay, because this p equal to this p, so determine I, so I equal to this one, square root 1 over t, integrate 0 to t I square with respect to dt. Similarly to V effective equal to 1 over t, 0 to t, integrate V square from 0 to t with respect to dt. Thus, the effective value is often known as the root mean square value. That's why effective value we call it root mean square value or RMS value. Okay, or RMS value. Okay, I effective equal to I RMS. Similarly to V effective equal to V RMS. This is the way how to prove the I RMS or V RMS. Okay, so effective value or RMS value. The effective value of a periodic signal is its mean square root value. So which means that we have a signal X. So in order to determine X RMS equal to square root 1 over t, integrate x square dt from 0 to t. Okay, let's say we have a Vt. Okay, Vt, the waveform of Vt. How to determine RMS value of Vt? RMS value equal to Vm over square root 2. Okay, when you integrate this, when you solve this integration, you can get VRMS equal to Vm over square root 2. You can try by your own. Okay, you integrate this waveform. Okay, VRMS equal to square root 1 over t, integrate 1 over t. Okay, in bracket Vm cos omega t, close the bracket, square with respect to the t, and then you solve that equation, you can get this value. Okay, integrate Vt, you can get this value. Okay, so we can conclude that the RMS equal to V maximum divided by square root 2. This one you need to remember. How to mean RMS value from the waveform. Okay, equal to Vm divided by square root 2. Okay, similarly, the average power absorbed by the R equal to I square RMS R, which is equal to P equal to I square RMS R. Okay, P equal to V RMS square over R. So we can conclude that average power absorbed by the resistor R equal to P I square RMS R equal to V RMS square over R. Okay. Okay, so next we will discuss about apparent power and power factor. Okay, apparent power. How to determine apparent power? Okay, now we have average power P equal to 1 over 2 Vm Im cos theta V minus theta I. We have average power. So, okay, this average power we can, okay, this average power basically is related to the maximum value of the current and voltage. So, we can relate with the RMS value. So equal to VRMS IRMS cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, because VRMS equal to V maximum divided by square root 2. Okay, so you can convert to this equation. Can you derive? How to derive? Okay, try to derive. Okay, you have a P equal to 1 over 2 Vm Im cos theta V minus theta I. We know that Vm equal to, okay, how to determine Vm? How to relate between Vm and VRMS? We know that VRMS, okay, VRMS equal to Vm over square root 2. Okay, we know that VRMS equal to Vm over square root 2. Okay, this one. VRMS equal to Vm over square root 2. So Vm equal to square root 2 times VRMS. Okay, so Vm equal to square root 2. Okay, square root 2 times VRMS. Sorry the mouse ni tak berapa cantik tu. Okay, sorry. Okay, Vm equal to square root 2 VRMS. Similarly to Im equal to square root 2 IRMS. Okay, you solve this equation, you can get P equal to VRMS IRMS. Okay, cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, this VRMS time IS, we call it apparent power. Okay, we call it apparent power S. Okay, apparent power. Okay, so apparent power equal to S VRMS times IRMS. Okay, unit dia adalah volt ampere. Unit dia adalah volt ampere. And then you have another term, cos theta. You have a second term, cos theta, theta V, cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, this cos theta V minus theta I, we call it a power factor. Power factor, okay, commonly we write PF equal to cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, this is a power factor. This is a power factor. Okay, so from this equation, power factor equal to P over S. Sama je kan? Okay, P over S. So from the equation of average power, we have another two important information. Number one, okay, S, apparent power, which is equal to VRMS times RMS. Number two adalah power factor, which is equal to cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, so from the average power, you have information of apparent power and power factor. Okay, is it clear? Boleh Okay, next. Okay, what is power factor? Okay, power factor basically is the cosine of the phase difference between voltage and current. Okay, phase difference between voltage and current. So equal to P over S. It also the cosine of the angle of load impedance. Okay, power factor equal to this cos theta V minus theta I, or you can determine power factor according to the load impedance. Okay, load impedance. Okay, which is from the Z, because we know that Z equal to V over I. So angle of between V and I equal to angle Z. So you cos theta this one, you determine the cosine of angle of impedance, you can determine power factor. That's you have to approach on how to determine power factor. Okay, power factor from the angle of V and I, cos the different angle between V and I, or you can determine power factor from the angle of Z. Let's say you have a Z at a certain angle, cos that angle, you can determine the power factor. Okay, so what is the value of power factor? Okay, this is the range of the power factor. Okay, power factor basically from 0 to 1. Okay, 1 we call it unity. Power factor unity means power factor equal to 1. Okay, power factor equal to 1 means we have only resistive load, which is current and voltage are in phase. Okay, let's say you have a power factor equal to 0 means your load actually is purely reactive. Okay, purely reactive, either L load or inductive load, inductive or capacitive. You have only inductive or only capacitive. Okay, which is current or voltage plus or minus 90 degree. Okay. Okay, for power factor, we have a lagging power factor. Okay, we have two types of power factor. We have a lagging power factor. We have a leading power factor. What is the meaning of lagging power factor? The lagging power factor means current lags voltage. This one you have to understand. You have to remember. Okay, what is the lagging power factor? Lagging means current lag voltage. Current lags voltage. Okay, this is the phasor diagram of voltage. This is a voltage. This is a current. So current lags voltage means current mengekor voltage kan? Okay, current mengekor voltage. Okay, current lags voltage. Okay, so this is the power triangle. You have a P, you have a positive Q. Lagging power factor means you have a positive Q. Okay, positive Q. And then you have a S. This is the theta. Okay, we call it lagging power factor. Okay, number 2, we have a leading power factor means current leads voltage. Okay, by angle theta. Okay, we call it a capacitive load. Lagging power factor, we call it inductive load. We have an inductive load, that's why Q is positive. And leading power factor, we have a capacitive load. Okay, our load basically is combination of R and C. Okay, current leads voltage. Okay, current leads voltage, mendahului voltage. Current leads voltage by certain degree. Okay. By angle theta, not phi, angle theta. Okay. Okay, this is the power triangle. Okay, we have a negative Q. Inductive load, we have a negative Q for inductive load. We have a negative Q. Okay, this is the power factor. We have a lagging power factor, we have a leading power factor. So, we have to differentiate between lagging and leading power factor. Okay, look at the example. Okay, we have a series connected load draws current when the applied voltage is equal to Vt. So find the apparent power factor and power factor of the load. Number 1. Okay, number 1 determine apparent power and power factor of the load. And then number 2 determine the elements value. Okay, the elements of the load. Okay, first of all, apparent power. How to determine apparent power? Okay, first of all, I think better you draw the circuit. Let's say you have a circuit. Draw the circuit. Simple circuit. We have a load. And then we have a current through the load. Then we have a voltage. Okay, this is a phasor diagram. Okay, so how to determine apparent power? We know that apparent power equal to RMS times IRMS. Okay, we have voltage, peak voltage divided by square root 2, current, peak current divided by square root 2, and get RMS value, unit volt ampere. Okay, power factor, how to determine power factor? Equal to cos theta V minus theta I. Okay, what is theta V? Theta V is minus 20, theta I equal to plus 10 degree. Okay, so you can get 0.866. Okay, leading or lagging. To determine leading or lagging, you can see the phasor diagram of the current and voltage. Okay, you can see that. Okay, current leads voltage. Okay, when you draw the phasor diagram, you can draw the phasor diagram. You can draw the phasor diagram. This is current. This is your current, phasor diagram for current. Okay, this is the phasor diagram minus 20 for the voltage. The voltage, what you can see from here, I leads voltage. I leads voltage means leading power factor. Okay, so next, how to determine load impedance. Okay, number 2 determines the element value. Okay, determine Z. Okay, Z. Okay, you have a current, you have a V. Z equal to V over I. Okay, you have a V, and you can transfer to phasor diagram divided by I. Okay, V divided by I. You can get this is the element value. Okay. Okay. Okay, your R equal to 25.98, and then your C equal to, this is your XC. XC equal to 15. Okay, 15 ohms. Then you can determine C, because XC equal to 1 over omega C. So you can determine C. This is the element value of C and R. Okay, from the Z, you can determine power factor. Okay, how to determine power factor? Cos theta Z, cos minus 30 degree equal to 0.866. Okay, leading, why leading? Because of a negative angle leading. So which is equal to this one. Okay, which means that you determine power factor from the angle of current and voltage, cosine of angle voltage and current, or you can determine power factor equal to cos of angle of Z. Sama ke jawapan dia? Okay, so I think that's all for subtopic. So you can try problem 11.9 in the Studyku books. Okay, fundamental of electric circuit. In the books of fundamental of electric circuit. Then you can refer to example 11.10 and another problem 11.10. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.